Hi, my name is Kevin Grote, and this is your MVM preview of Goblin Teeth by Jellybean Games. In Goblin Teeth, every player takes on the role of a goblin, trying to impress the big boss by collecting a set of specific items. As you collect more items, you'll get closer to completing one of the collections and winning the game. So, let's take a few minutes and talk about how that's done. First thing you're going to do is set up the game like this. Let me talk you through what each different kind of card is and how they work. Here is our deck of item cards, and that's what you see laid out here in this row. You'll notice that 3 of them are face up, 1 is face down. No matter how many players you have, the number of cards in this row will be equal to that number of players. But regardless of player count, there will always be 1 card that is face down. This is the altar mat, and you can place dice on items or on the altar mat, and we'll talk about what happens when you do those things. And then over here we have the offering mat with a couple offerings on them. These are the different collections that you're trying to complete, right? And so you'll notice that a few of these items here are present on some of the images on these cards, and over time you'll collect items and hopefully be the first one to complete a set. And then our final stack of cards over here are cheat cards. And these are going to really mix up the gameplay and help make things not so predictable. And if you're asking for my personal opinion, I think these are the best things about the game. The cheat cards are really what make this game interesting and fun. They help give you more interesting decisions. So let's talk a little bit how you play. The game starts with everything set up like this, and everyone is going to roll their 3 dice that they have, and then in turn order, each person is going to place a die onto one of the item cards or onto the altar mat. So the altar mat, when you place a die there, what you do is you get to do one of 2 things. So the first thing you can do is to take a cheat card, which can be used in the future, or you can clear cheat cards that are in front of you or in front of another player. So in order for that bit of information to make sense, let me quickly explain the 2 different types of cheat cards there are. So there are action cheat cards and there are ongoing cheat cards. The action cheat cards will be played on your turn, and you can play as many of them as you want. You can also hold as many cheat cards in your hand as you want, and those will be played and then resolved and discarded immediately. They are one-time effects. The other kind of cheat cards are ongoing cheat cards. Those get placed in front of you or in front of other players, and they'll provide ongoing effects for the rest of the game. There are both good and bad ongoing cheat cards, and so obviously you'll want to play the bad ones in front of your opponents, making things harder for them, or you want to play the good ones in front of yourself. Now, back to the altar mat. When you place a die on the altar mat, you can either draw a cheat card, or you can say, hey, you got some good ongoing cheat cards there. You have to discard all of them, right? So it allows you to discard all the ongoing cheat cards in front of any single player. And so if you've got bad ones that you want to get rid of, or if someone else has good ones that you want to get rid of, that's how you do it. Okay. Since you know you're going to be attempting to collect a set of items, you should be able to look and see which items you want. And as the game goes on, you might start going for a certain item and then change your mind halfway through and realize that you might actually have an easier time getting a different one. And so you're going to place your dice one at a time onto the items. And the way that works is at the end of the round, whoever has the highest total sum of dice on each individual item card will gain that item card. So for example, if green here places a 4, then they have the highest bid on this card. However, if someone else, say white with a 6, were to place that on there, then white would have the highest bid. And if nothing else got placed on there, white would gain that card at the end of the round. Another thing that you can do is add multiple dice. So green could, on a later turn, place the 3 on there, bringing their total up to 7. So they now have the lead. This just keeps going in a circle until everyone has placed all their dice, and then you're going to count up and see who has the most on each card. But there are no ties allowed in Goblin Teeth. And so, for example, the green player could not place this 2. Let's say that they had 2 2s. They couldn't place one of them there because they would then be tied. Both players have a sum of 6. And so that makes things interesting. Never having ties, it makes it easier to figure out what's possible and what's not possible on your turn. It also means that as you look around at the dice that the other players have, you can kind of know, ooh, if I place this here, they can't put theirs on it because then we'd be tied. And so it's a little bit more interesting when you can't have ties like that. But there are also cheat cards that can be played as actions, and those actions can sometimes manipulate the dice or cause someone to re-roll or allow you to re-roll one of your dice. And so that gives you the ability to kind of change what the die results are and maybe, hopefully, grab a card or an extra one. So one other thing to keep in mind is that you can never exceed 10. So even if you have 2 6s, you could not play both of those on a single card because you cannot exceed 10. So if someone were to, say, have 10 on any single card, unless someone else has a cheat card that can change that, they've pretty much locked in that card and will gain it at the end of the round. But like I said, there's a lot of variety in the cheat cards, and it's likely that someone will try to screw this up and snag this card for themselves. So, since that explains the item cards and the altar mat, we can move our way here. I mentioned it before, but these are the offerings. This is the default offering that is just on the mat here. And so this one will be present in every single game, and it's just one of each item. Pretty simple. And then you've got other ones here. And so currently these offerings are on their advanced side. So if I flip them over, you'll notice that they don't have text on the other side. So this one is pretty straightforward. You just need these 2 items, and then each question mark is any type of item that you want, but because of the equal signs, they need to be 3 identical items. And then up here, it's just that those are the items that you need to collect this set. Since we were talking about the advanced side, we'll go back to those so you can see them again. It's basically the same kind of concept, except that at the bottom, there is some special effect. So the blue ones let you discard bombs to do something special, and the red ones will let you discard like every other type of item that there is. And so those can be kind of nice, because if you get stuck with an item that you don't want, well, you might be able to discard it to activate some sort of special ability. Maybe. It depends on which card is present that game. And I guess, really quick, to bring it back, the Facedown card, you place dice on this just like you would any other item card, but you don't know what it is. And so it could work for you, it could work, it might not be something that you want. But whoever gains this card also gains the first player token. And so they'll get to start the next round. That's how you play. You're just going to keep playing, going in a circle, placing dice, trying to get as many items as you can until someone has completed a set. And it's quick. It's easy to teach. It doesn't feel dull. The nice thing about it is that it is heavily reliant on dice, but it doesn't feel like it's really, like you really need to get lucky in order to win the game. And so if you get stuck with a really low roll for that round, you're not out of the game. In fact, I played a game yesterday with some coworkers where one person rolled a 1, 2, and 3, and you could kind of tell that she thought, okay, I'm out of the game. There's no way I'm going to win now. But because you can play dice onto the altar mat and gain cheat cards, every single turn she placed a die on the altar mat, gaining her 3 new cheat cards. Plus, at the end of the round, if you did not gain an item, you get a cheat card. So, in a single round, she got 4 cheat cards. It was just very unpredictable what was going to happen whenever it got to her turn because she had so many cheat cards. So, all in all, it's a quick little game. It plays smoothly, and it's an enjoyable experience. It doesn't take long to learn. It's easy to learn. So, people who aren't necessarily big gamers, they can still learn how to play it quickly and have a good time. So if this sounds like a game that you would be interested in, I highly encourage you to check out their Kickstarter campaign. There should be a link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kevin Grote, and this has been an MVM preview of Goblin Teeth by Jellybean Games. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and write them down in the comments, and we'll try to get you answers right away. And if you found this video to be helpful, informative, please consider liking and subscribing to MVM. Thank you so much. Have a great day.